Welcome to another YouTube video. This one's going to be getting around the Dwarven Mines. And it's just basically I'm going to map out all the Dwarven Mines for you. And that way you can get around a lot easier. It's very big and intimidating when you first start, but if you kind of connect the dots, then you'll be able to get around pretty easily. So if you watched my last video, you'll have known how to get to the Dwarven Mines to start, but in case you didn't, you go to Deep Cavern, and you could go to Obsidian Sanctuary. You talk to Rise, and he unlocks the Dwarven Mines for you. So after that, you can just go to Lift Operator, click on Dwarven Mines. Okay, so we're in Dwarven Mines. Basically, you got the entrance, you got the walkway, and then you start in, this is called Dwarven Village. So we're currently in Dwarven Village. It's basically a straight shot. You got all these side rooms. They don't really lead to anywhere. You have some useful NPCs. Boo Boo, he sells you the picks. This Bolvar sells you the minion upgrades. You have a blacksmith and a banker. You have Gary, the events guide. So sometimes every 20 minutes or so, there's going to be an event, and you can like teleport to Gary, and then Gary, when the event starts, you click on him and he'll teleport you to the event. So that's how that works. You keep going straight. There's a side path over there, but don't worry about it. Okay, so there's basically just one route. You go to this giant archway, you go through it, and then from here there's two different ways you can go. One, there's the Royal Palace, going that way, and two is Ramparts Quarry, going this way. Ramparts Quarry is basically the entire mine area, and it might have some different names, but it's basically like the generic name for the entire mining area. So basically you go through here, and we're already in Ramparts Quarry. So Ramparts Quarry actually starts on that far wall, and it leads until you get to this, until you go across that wall, and on the other side is called the Far Reserve, and then this whole big mining area is called Ramparts Quarry. If you go on the other side of the purple, it's a giant cliff. It's called Cliffside Veins. Cliffside Veins leads you on a bridge called Devon's Gateway, which leads you to the wall, and the wall also connects to the Goblin Burrows, which connects between the wall and the Far Reserve, and the Far Reserve is connected to Ramparts Quarry, which is here. So it all connects. They all have different names, but it's basically one giant room divided by a couple giant walls. That's one wall. That's one wall. There's also Upper Mines, and it's located near the edge of Ramparts Quarry. So if I went this way, right, it would become Upper Mines. So Upper Mines leads you to Far Reserve. Yeah, so there we go. This is the Far Reserve. So this is the very, very right side of the entire mine area, and it's called Far Reserves, and it's directly adjacent to Ramparts Quarry. So basically, if you're in Ramparts Quarry, you're in the big main mining area. Inside of Ramparts Quarry, this Forge Basin, and you can really see this very easily. You can see lava going into this thing, and then there's also the purple thing, and that will be an indicator of where Forge Basin is, because it's almost directly above Forge Basin. Forge Basin is connected to the Forge, so if you need to access the Forge, you can just see the Forge Basin and see the giant orange line, and that's going to be the Forge. And all of this is inside Ramparts Quarry, so this is all Ramparts Quarry. Anyway, I'm going to go back up to where we were before, and that was that way. So if you went that way, you got the Ramparts Quarry. On the far of that, Far Reserve. Between Far Reserve and Ramparts Quarry, there's the Upper Mines that can connect them. There's also a couple other connecting points between the two. Inside of Ramparts Quarry is the Forge Basin that leads to the Forge. I'll show you from different perspectives. So you go this way, So you go through this gate. This is the way to the palace, right? And then there's also this right here. This is called Lava Springs, and that's, if you get a good look from above, let's see. It's basically just one long lava line that leads you to the Forge Basin. So that's where the Forge Basin is. So you can see the Forge Basin inside of Ramparts Quarry, leading from that path right here. And that's the Forge, and that's the giant purple thing. So that's where you find the lava springs, the Forge Basin, Forge. But basically, this is a good indicator of going towards the palace. So you got the palace bridge. So there's basically the right side, which is called Far Reserve, and the left side, which is called the palace. The palace bridge is directly above the royal mines. So if you need to find the royal mines, it's directly underneath the palace bridge. We'll go to that area in a bit. Let's go into the royal palace. Is the round table, and that's where you get your quest. You just talk to the king, and he gives you the commissions here. All the NPCs here don't do anything, but there are 5 adjacent rooms inside the royal palace, and I'll show you what they do. So this one's just one gigantic room. You can go upstairs and like look down on it. But there's also a small room where the puzzler is. You talk to him and he'll tell you like left, down, right, up, right, down, or whatever. And you'll end up like, so you start on this square, you go left, down, or like left, down, right, up, right, down, or whatever, and you'll end up on a square. If you mine that square, you get like 1,000 mithril powder, and you can do that once per day. So that's one thing you can do. This leads to like the royal chambers, I think. Yeah, royal quarters. There's a room here. There's this giant room in the middle that leads to 2 side rooms with NPCs. Then there's this room. I guess we can check it out together if you want. Okay, so royal resident, and then the other side has a royal resident. It's just a couple rooms, and that's what's behind the king, behind the 2 archways. They connect, one on one side, one on the other. Okay, so you're behind the king, and then you're on the right side. This is just one more room called Barracks of Heroes. You have the castle guard, and then you have one NPC here. I guess he was the hero. And then you have this, the final archway, and this leads to the Hanging Gardens, or Hanging Court. And Hanging Court has a side path called the Aristocratic Bridge, and that's another way to get to the royal mines. So if you want to get to the royal mines, you can just jump off the bridge, or you can also just go down this pathway and it'll lead you to the royal mines. There's another path, and I think it leads you down there, and that leads you to the wall, which is connected to Devon's Court, which is connected to the cliffside, which is on the opposite, which is the divider between Ramparts Quarry and the wall. Okay, so yeah, so this is where the cliffside is too. If you want to go through there. So basically, we'll go back there's a couple other like small areas you can check out if you want. The cool thing about the Aristocratic Bridge is there's an NPC here that can, well, sometimes I might have lost them. So you can go that way, and you're basically at the wall if you go through directly left, or you can keep going this way, and then you're at the royal mines, and the royal mines are directly underneath the palace bridge. So yeah, and then inside the royal mines, there's also the path to the what do you call this? The Cliffside Veins. And the Cliffside Veins are basically veins that are on this side of the cliffs. And then you see that giant purple thing, so you know on the other side of the cliffs will be the FORGE Basin. So you can actually go that way through there if you want. And then here is the wall. So you just go across this bridge, and it's called Devon's Gateway. And the wall is where you find the Ice Walkers. So if you need, well, these are the guys that drop the, well, I'm actually finishing some sort of quest. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, there's a raffle. And there's nobody else here. That's cool. I should, well, I would participate, but I'm not really participating. Anyway, so that's how you, so you could have gone through the Aristocratic Bridge that would have led you, or the Aristocratic Passage, and that leads you down here to the wall. And then the wall is what is connected either to Devon's Gate or connected to the Goblin Burrows. So you could go through the Goblin Burrows, and it'll lead you to the Far Reserve. Like there's a bunch of different exits, but you're basically end up, no matter where you end up, you'll end up at the Far Reserve. There's also a little hidden chamber inside that's just, it's cool to look at. So you're in the Far Reserve. Oh, well, that's cool. So you go in the Far Reserve, and then that's basically, you're on the right side of Ramparts Quarry. So you're, yeah, okay, so Ramparts Quarry is over here, and then if you see that giant lava, then that's where you know where the basin is. So we were looking at that from above, and that's the basin from the right side. This is still Ramparts Quarry. And then there's just this giant wall dividing Ramparts Quarry and Far Reserve, basically. It's still called Ramparts Quarry until you exit through this here, and then so there's like two giant walls. There's one giant wall that kind of just divides a section of Ramparts Quarry, and then another wall that divides between Ramparts Quarry and the Far Reserve. Under here is a little room called CNC Co. So if you go through that arch, it's called CNC, like Minecart Co. company. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So we're in the Far Reserve now. There's a cool hidden passage, and the Far Reserve is connected to the goblins. It's also connected to Ramparts. Well, the goblins connect to the wall, and then Ramparts. It also connects to Ramparts Quarry. So so there's a cool thing. If you're in Ramparts Quarry and you see that giant wall, you can go on top of this giant wall. Just keep walking. So that's where the forge is. That's the little the lava source thing, the giant purple thing. Ramparts Quarry. On the other side of this cliff is the Cliff Veins. You got the reserve over here. So if you're in Ramparts Quarry, you can climb on this wall, and you can just go up here. It's called the Miners Guild, and then the Miners Guild is right above the village. So it brings you right back to the start. So that's pretty much the entire Dwarven Mines in a nutshell. And then there's all these secret passages. There's the small rooms. You can go and explore the rooms. Like there's a lot of small rooms to explore if you want to just talk to NPCs or check out the art. But basically that's how you get around, and those are all the connecting points. Hope you liked the video. Hope it helped. If you have any questions, just shoot them in the comments. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate all the likes and the messages that I got on the last video. I'm glad to know that it was helpful, and I'm going to try keeping up with guides that help people. I did spend like probably the entire day researching this whole entire area, so it did take a while, and I hope it saves you a lot of time so you don't have to. Anyway, catch you guys later. Dave plays guitar on Twitch, David U Gaming on YouTube, and have a great day.